This is the wall that most people dread, and the reason why is because cutting around all of this. First off, I made sure that my shower valve was in there nice and square. Now I'm going to show you a tip that is going to make this really easy to be able to get this marked out, cut out on your Backerboard, and get a nice perfect fit. I don't want to make it so that this would come past where my sheetrock ends here, and I also want to make sure I leave a little bit of a gap in the corner there to allow for our sealant that we're going to put in the corner. The first thing I want to do here is I'm going to mount my piece of Backerboard temporarily above this shower valve. My cut side is going to go towards the wall. I'm going to get this all lined up out here. So I was able to shut the water off on my valve to relieve pressure, and then I took this nipple out that I had in there temporarily for the shower head, and I'll put this back in after we're done cutting this Backerboard and make sure we get it nice and tight again so it doesn't leak. So my goal right now is to end the Backerboard right in this area below the lip of the tub. So I'll put a seam right here. I don't want to have to take off too much just to run one solid piece all the way down to the floor. So I want to put a seam in here. Now I just took a piece of strap and I squared this off. Got down at least to that line or a little bit past it. And I cut a hole in the middle here. And I did that because I want it to be able to fit around my shower valve when I measure to this tub spout right here, to just draw right where that's going to end. Square. All right, there we go. Just clip back in. Make sure that that's clipped back in and square. So I'm going to come up to my valve here, and I'm still going to make my marks. And then right where this ends right here, I'm just going to make a mark right here because I know that then that's where the edge of the shower valve ends. Get it nice and square. I kind of want to leave a little bit of a gap there, but we can always cut more off later. Get that up here and make my mark up here. And I'm going to draw right here to show where this ends. I'll just continue marking up here. And then right here's where I'm going to mark the edge of the flange right there. I'll just make a mark. And I can come up right here and measure where the edge of the tub ends. Pull it straight with that line I made. And then I'll just make my mark right here where the tub ends. So now what I can do is I can kind of just draw what this is going to look like. So I know that right here is where my tub ends, the tub flange. And then somewhere right in here, I'll put a little curve in there. So I'm going to make a mark up here then, where the bottom of mark it right here. So now I can go around the valve. Now I'm on top of the tub spout. I can just make a mark right there for the top of the tub spout. 3/4 of an inch for that, somewhere in there. And this, I can just measure for this way. I could just measure right here. It's 14 3/4. So 14 3/4. And then add another 3/4 of an inch. So before I take this down, I want to draw some lines on here so you can see what this is going to look like. Now that top line is a little bit crooked, but that's nothing that we can't straighten out a little bit with the T-square when we bring it outside to make these marks and cuts. I just wanted you to really see how nice this method works and exactly how everything lines up. Okay, so now that this is all marked, I'm going to go unrelease these 2 screws. I'm going to run outside, cut this, come back in, and hopefully we have a perfect fit. Measured off of the mark right here that I made with my T-square, and I drew my line there, and then I moved it over to here, drew my line here. And then just to kiss and giggles, or then this bottom one, I had this mark that was right here. I just lined it up with that, and I marked it there. And then for this one, I just made sure it was square. Keep in mind, your tub spout is really big, so that hole is going to get covered. Plus, you have tile that you're going to cut around this too to be able to make sure you get it right. But you don't want this to be too oversized from that hole that would just go over the height. And I'm just going to go ahead and angle it in towards towards where I'm cutting, not away from it, towards it so it bevels in instead of out. Just a light score all the way down my line. And then I'll just follow the contour here. The Backerboard that I'm working with on this project is Go board. I really like using Go-board. It's so easy to work with. It's really light, very comparable to Curdy board, except for I think it's even better. It's cheaper. The Go-board sealant that you use can be used to seal all of the seams, all of the screw holes. This stuff is really an incredible product for the price, and I would just urge you that you check it out. I will have another video following up this on the full Backerboard install of this tub surround. Let's just speed this up a little bit while I cut through both of these areas. There we go. Make sure I follow the right line. There we go. Now this should just pop right out. There you go. So what I have here is called Curdy band. Now I'm going to use this along the edge of the tub to really water seal that. I don't need 5 inches of this stuff. I only need about 3. So I already pre-measured the length of this for 12 feet. Now we're just going to go and we're going to secure this along the edge of the tub. Now what this is going to do is make sure our flange is 100% waterproof, and it's also going to make it so that we have something that the thin set has something to bite to. Okay? This thin set will stick to the backer board, but it's not going to like this at all. And so I always like to take the extra step and put something on that flange that the thin set's going to bite to. So to help contain the mess, I'm going to go around and tape a little bit of the tub here so that we can easily peel this tape back after we do this and be done with the mess. Now what I'm going to be using here is called Curdy Fix. It comes in gray and white. I prefer the white. This is a sealant. Now this is the Curdy band that I'm going to be using. This comes in 16-foot rolls, and I'll share links to all of this in the description of the video. This is called Go-board sealant. It's what we use to seal all of the joints and the screw holes, and then we have the Go-board fasteners to go with it. Now the Go-board sealant is pretty much exactly the same as the Curdy Fix, and it's less expensive. I'm only going up 3 inches. I could draw a line all the way around here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and estimate. The operated caulking gun that I'm using, oh my gosh, is this thing nice to use. And it's pretty cheap. It came with a couple of batteries. I got it off of Amazon. I'll leave a link below for it so you can check it out. Well worth the money. Now what I'm going to use is a little spat here that has some small teeth on it. And I'm just going to start spreading it with this. Now you can see I got a lot of extra, so I didn't finish all the way around, so I'm just going to go ahead and spread that over there where I'm not working yet. Keep going all the way around. And now I have some extra on here, so I can go ahead and go around with this a little bit instead of spreading it with the caulking gun. Just to past the corner a little. All that's past the tub. I'm not really going past there anyway, so. Now all I'm going to do is just stick it right on here. I got my cut side down. And then you're just going to smooth this out. Because you will cause a mess. Keep rolling it out. Make sure I get a good square corner there. Now, most of the time, these tub flanges dip in from the cement board. And one of the reasons why I'm putting this Curdy band on there is so that I can have something that the thin set can bite to. And once I'm all done with this and this dries, now I can flatten all of that stuff out that dips in where the tub flange is at to make it so I have an absolute flat surface right there when tiling. This is the only way to go about it. Don't make your tile installation go so much harder by skipping this step. You don't want to have to deal with that flange while you're installing the tile. Take care of it now. And then I'll just go and clean up what I got all over it. But this really took care of a lot of the mess for me. Now I'm just going to take my rag with some mineral spirits on it and go around and clean up everything. Now we're all done. Make sure there's nothing on here. It's super important to have flat surfaces when you're installing tile. If you can get the walls completely flat, It will make your tile installation so much easier. I can't even tell you. You can do it during the tile installation, but it really is tough, and it's always just nice to have flat surfaces. So what I like to do is just stretch like my level across. So I have it flat down here, but I got a little bit of a rock. Kind of see right there. I'm also having the same problem with this corner, where that is actually sticking out or in right here. This corner is sticking in about 1/8 of an inch. If I press this all the way in down here at the end, that's how far my level sticks out. And by the time it gets down here, I can almost stick my finger in there. If I press it flat with all of these 2x4s, these three, this one, it's all flat all the way across until I get to this very end. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put a sister stud in back here. And then this over here, this wall that we were just talking about, this stud right here is the one that's sticking out versus all of them. So if this was not here, all of these studs would be flat with one another right now. But because I have that one in here, it's rocking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind this stud all the way up and take about 1/8 inch all the way up with this. Kind of make a pencil mark just so I know how far I need to go. It's a flat disc sander. Now these are like made for steel, but I still use them for wood. So I'm just going to start up here and start grinding away. It's going to get pretty messy with this thing. I have a flap disc that you can get for a 4.5 inch grinder, which I typically like to use that instead. This is all I had on hand for the day. It's a lot easier to control the smaller ones, so just keep that in mind. You don't need to have this super oversized angle grinder with a flap disc to do this. Like I said, it's going to be a mess. Okay, now I'm just going to go through and check it and keep doing that until I get all the spots. Okay, so overall I got it. Now just that little 1 to 2 minutes of work on this stud is going to save me a ton of headaches. Okay, so to do a sister stud in here, all I'm going to do is I cut a 2x4 to length. So I didn't even need to use a full one here if you don't need to go all the way up, but I do in this situation. Take my level, I'm going to stick it across all these other studs, and then I'm going to pull this one, this back one that was short, out to the edge of my level, and then I'm going to shoot some screws in there. Looking good. Yeah, I don't know, it's just weird. It's like this 2x4 in the back corner there is just a little skinnier for some reason. And then I'm just going to keep doing this all the way up. And if I need to adjust, I can pull it out or push it in before I put the screw in. Well, I think that those tips are really going to help you with your Backerboard installation. Now, I'm also going to share some more videos here coming up on tile installation. So be sure to go and check those out. Check out my channel for any vinyl plank videos that you might want to see. And I just want to pray for you. Father God, I pray that you bless everyone who's watching this video, Lord. I pray that you bless them and their family and that you help them through any troubles that they might be going through right now, Lord. I pray that, again, that you just bless them and their family, and I pray for that in Jesus' name. Hey, I'm Joe Latender. I just want to say thanks for watching. Check my channel out. Hit that subscribe button if you liked this video. Hit the like button. If you want to get notified of videos that I'm putting out, hit that bell, and I will see you on the next one. Wait a second, one more thing. This video, as of today, when I release it, I have a website that you can come to and join a membership to help, where I'll help walk you through your tile installation. There's a lot of brand new videos that I'm putting on there right now. I'm actually in the process at this moment of rebuilding it and plan on releasing it in October. If you're interested in something like that, I'll leave a link below in the description. Also a link for all those tools below, so go check that out. And hey, I hope to see you inside when I open it up. I'm really excited about that. I'm Joe Latender. Have a great day.